Good morning, uh, brothers and sisters of the country where the British then create na Africa, where they make the boundary for we, them call them Sierra Leone. And the British them they can make me comment on the speech to the nation by the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, retired Brigadier Maada Bio. I agree with uh, most of what they say. We call out for peace, we call out for unity. I agree with the need for peace and unity. But within kind of my mind, we talk about peace of and unity. Now something we read, I hope I got it right. I think I had it also on video. I think maybe some dramatization of the life of Nelson Mandela, the iconic Nelson Mandela, a global icon. Where them in the fed the apartheid government, then the ANC don't go full steam into being a rebel group, an insurgent group. Then the Fed and the bomb Fed, and then they mobilize, then people for go out in demonstration against the apartheid government. So when this thing began to affect the South African economy, which was one of the fastest growing economy from the 1950s right up to the 1990s, and with man they would they get one of the highest standard of living in the whole world. So they affect them, they pinch them bad one. So then go meet Nelson Mandela in a prison with them, then keep her in a prison. All man know, all Pekin I know this for 27 years. Then say, tell you people them, then left this fete. Then we go put you in a prison. Then we go begin to negotiate how to govern the country. Then Nelson Mandela tell them, say, una the white man them, una stop una own war on the people. And auto just for use soldier man them, where most of them have been black man. Auto for just they use policeman them, where most of them have been black man. But now in the structural system South Africa under apartheid, we the almost about 10 times less than them they use from government money for educate a black child as against a white child. In the most of the industries, most of the farms, the best farms, all they belong to Whitman them. With the best universities them, all thing, scholarship, everything I mean Whitman then get them. We black man have been certain say you gotta get justice once you're not black man. So that was structural violence. That was the Whitman them, the Africans, under apartheid system, them been the fed war on the people, not just guns and bombs. So when me on president, why they call me all the time, me burnt brother, will to come out bomb district, we talk about peace. What in time I'm in mind, I say, oh, they talk about peace. But you, as the head of the executive branch of government, the judiciary, we then the praise now say separation of powers, the parliament, all since the 1964, where my own grand uncle, Sir Albert Magai, take over power, right up to the present, the fed war on the ordinary people. Now you they say now we get peace? Waiting the president get for provide leadership for is for making the executive branch, the legislative branch, the parliament, the judicial branch for stop them war on the ordinary people. Stop fighting war on the people. Stop fighting war on the people. We think he arise spasmodically, one time it is just the boss. Now like where the war take place, what you will know as the physical war, 1991, where for the Sankor grab, where the AFRC grab, where they all team up for using guns and bombs. Those are instances when the people can grab. No, they take this with the facts. But then they react to the sustained war of the elite, the civil servants then, the intellectuals then, the governing class, the war within the fight against the people. Mr. President, provide leadership. Stop the war on the poor people. Stop the war on children. Stop the war on the youth. Stop the war on the poor traders. The farmers. Stop the war on the okada riders. Stop the war. Stop asking for peace, unity when you're fighting war. I go up and in the president's speech, President Julius Maada Bio, retired brigadier of the Sierra Leone military, praised the judiciary for showing strength and praised the system as having separation of powers. That means the judiciary team up by himself, he can challenge the executive, the judiciary, and then they interpret the law the way Parliament they make. That is good. Something where we go tell the whole wide world. See, one other blogger, they talk, say, well, we ought to North Korea, we ought to Venezuela. We in a country where the law exists, so where the judiciary talk and say, now for take this action, the executive just get for obey. That is good. But they will take a pause. Maybe this is the start of a new judiciary, but a new Chief Justice. But I doubt whether anybody, now any of the law schools there, now any of the university, I doubt whether any bishop or pastor or imam could team up and put in reputation at stake to say with judiciary the function for give justice to the majority of people. I doubt whether one person will get reputation go ever do that. We all know, say, with judiciary, they use the laws them for pervert justice. We all know that. We take it for granted. Everybody knows that, look, if you have to get your case through the judiciary, pass you get money. Pass you get for play games to make sure you get justice. We all know that. They've established special courts for anti-corruption, special court to fast-track commercial cases. I don't know yet how far they don't go for make sure, say, them thing there, they live up to what they say they're supposed to do. I tried once to went to the judiciary to get information. They not give me the information where I demand. For say, if they take anti-corruption case go, it will take 2 months, 3 months, they're not done with them. They can just talk them thing there, but they do it. Now there is an agency called the Sierra Leone Legal Aid Board. I think it was established during the government of former President Ernest Bai Koroma. It is stand up for provide lawyer them, for them poor people them who are not able for hire lawyer. So when they get case na court, then be able to provide a lawyer for them. If Then give money to them, to Sierra Leone Legal Aid Board. Let them go into them files. Let them tell you what they happen every day. How poor people them. Then they go lock them up for small thing, or maybe then thief one small mobile phone. They go lock them up in a cell. Go put them at Parliamentary Road prisons. Way above the 3 days what they're supposed for the day. Then they can carry them go court for small thief. We're not going even what maybe 100,000 old leons, 100 leons, new leons. Then go put them in a prison. Then go there 4, 5 years. As part of me on work, women have been media advisor to former President Ernest Bai Koroma, 2012 to 2018. I don't go inside Pademba Road prisons. I don't go outside and they keep them when they below 16 years of age. I don't ask them. Now what do you do? They say, boy, they tell me, say, pa, what can I treat? We come up show at stadium. Now St. John then catch we. Then say out and call I think vagrancy or something. They don't not stay Pademba Road for 2 years, 3 years. What they mean here is say it places the prison system to have many people. So for example, where government they give 20 loan for somebody for each person for day, then chop 15 loan. So it is in their own interest to have many prisoners there. I repeat, no one person we get integrity, we know say they talk true, can't open your mouth say the judiciary they give you justice. It don't start. The judiciary don't give justice in the apparently don't take a stance with the executive, the presidency get for cave into. In the case of former President Ernest Bai Koroma. But the only way we will sustain the peace now for the judiciary to stop for being at the forefront of the war on the people of Sierra Leone. We not left for fat war. Now that make we the people them ordinary sergeant, no corporal, not even sergeant, for the Sanko lead a war for the people them and do it the wrong way. The people will rise sooner or later if you stop or if you continue fighting wars on the people. There's no two way about it. And sometimes, and it will be for the next 5 years this president day. But if we feel to say we continue the war for 10 years under APC, another 10 years under SFAP, we'll pass out another 10 years, we go to APC again. Now lie. The people are going to rise. I go crowd vote here one talk in those the audio there. I go one for open and for show how the parliament, how the executive, how the whole governing class, they fight war on the people then. And let's debate this issue. Me, now Oswald Hanciles. Will you compatriots, Sierra Leoneans, the children, the youths, men and women of Sierra Leone, Muslims and Christians, they continue me appraisal or critique of the speech we President, retired Brigadier Maada Bio, make yesterday, January 18, 2024. We likely not because of the thing that would not happen, we kind of social media, there was a lot of criticism of his policy, or rather the action of the judiciary of allowing former President Ernest Bai Koroma to go on bail, to go for medical treatment in Nigeria. A lot of fervent SLPP partisans then criticized the president for allowing such a thing to happen. And the president had to explain to them in his speech that it was the action of the judiciary, because in Sierra Leone the judiciary is separate with its own powers. Parliament, the legislature, is different with its own powers, and then the executive is different with its own powers. The executive headed by the president. That was good, and the president also lashed out at those dark forces who made the coup, attempted the coup to overthrow his government on November 26, 2023. Now I continue my critique. The dark forces that the president lashed out at, there has to be some of those elements who, no matter how well a government, a democratically elected government performs, even if we are on the path to becoming a Singapore or a Switzerland or a South Korea, they will still use their guns to try to overthrow such a government or even around her. But what I can say categorically, if governments or the different tiers of government, if they are cleansed and they perform as they ought to perform, then those who want to use guns and violence to overthrow such a government will not get anywhere. Hey man, don't think that they are not greedy people, power ambitious people in other countries like Singapore, like Hong Kong. Yes, they also have men with ambition who will come and want to overthrow their governments, but they will not do it. They will not get anywhere, because even among their own rank and in the military, they will not get much support. And certainly the majority of the people within countries that are governed well would not support a military incursion into governance. So in many ways, the moment when we allow our governing structure to be corrupt, to be justice to be perverted, we are actually inviting people with guns to come in. We are providing the justification for them to come in with their guns. Another bend and twist about that. In other words, put that in English, there is no equivocation about my stance on that. Corruption in government, not checked, rampant corruption, injustice in the judiciary, Parliament not doing its work, is an invitation to coup plotters, to coup makers. The people have to realize that. Or even worse, to civil war. But I mean, on talk say, they try for talk on how the different tiers of government of Sierra Leone, they wage war upon the people then. I don't talk about the judiciary. Now I talk now today, at this point, about Parliament. Not this Parliament alone. All the other parliaments, especially since 1964, when Sir Albert Magai was Prime Minister. And to go to the next audio. I am Oswald Hanciles. Get to every 5 years or so since the war ended, 2002, and even before that, when the war was on, 1996, We gather with people then. We go convince them to vote for us to get into parliament. I'm not talking about the presidential elections now. Before that, between 1968 to 1992, the rubbish parliament, until the parliament in 1978 made a one-party state. Anything with the president want, parliament did one. Waiting with man called rubber stamping parliament. They're not they argue. They're not they fight for the people. So now that lead, one of the reasons that will lead to the war. Parliament been just there, then suppose for fight for the people, suppose for make good law, but then they just make the law with the president there at that time, President Shaka Stevens, APC, President Joseph Momo, APC, anything they want, they do. They not care for the people then. After the war, Parliament slightly improved, especially between 1996 to 2002, when there was some balance of power, because the UNPP did it, and then they second to the SLPP, then the PDP. But even that self, they're not going to fight too much for the people then. Parliament suppose for one of its principal duty then, suppose for make law. So when I say rule of law, now Parliament then they make the law. And then for make the law we relevant, we go help the people them eat better eat, drink good water, live in a good house, get good education, get cheap and quality medical service, live cheap transportation way affordable by everybody. Now Parliament for make them law there. And before Parliament make them law there, in better let Parliament tell parliamentarians them, tell people then at their constituency them. Now this law we want make now give you one small example. Look Freetown ba. Freetown dirty. But why make Parliament not they make law? See, if you throw a dirty in a street, they can hold you and then fine you 5 million old leon. Would they send you na Pademba Road, now you did it for 2 years. For what you throw a dirty in a street? But then the left sit down, the dirty, gutter they full up. Parliament, now they see that? Then they make law on that? You know what not dirty they mean? It cause disease. People then they die. Not dirty they get in a gutter and go na the ocean them. It make a fish then they eat plastic, then they die. Not dirty they where they in the ground. If they make the beach them way for make billions of dollars with, then they spoil up. So the absence of Parliament for make a simple law to go help the country, for stop the field. Now Freetown Parliament, now they do one Parliament after the other. Whether now APC get majority in the Parliament or SLPP get majority in the Parliament, Parliament now they do You take another law with Parliament for pass, the law against corruption. Then they talk about amendment from where they make the first law, I think na 2000 or so, where Tijan Kabam and then the power, they make the first law for establish the Anti-Corruption Commission. The law where they make say, if you corrupt, then catch you on corruption, then put you in a court, then judge say you don't guilty, judge say I go pass sentence by you. The law not joke. 50 million old leons. Then the judge then go decide say I go send you prison or I not go send you prison. But that not joke. When the man don't thief 50 billion leons, you can't charge him 50 million leons. The man don't thief $2 million, you can't say pay $10,000. But that's not joke. all this law where Parliament make, then they encourage people then for thief. So then make I say, Parliament in the law the way that they make, they not explain that to people them, that are the first instance. And then they not they make sure say people they understand the law then after they don't make them. Now I tell you this, about 2025 to 2007, me have been the Secretary General for the Freedom of Information Coalition. Emmanuel Safar Abdullah is now a PhD holder, a lecturer at the university, founder and executive director of Society for Democratic Initiatives. So, I'm the chairman of the Freedom of Information Coalition. So, we've been the first for what they call the Freedom of Information Bill for making the Parliament look what we don't talk. Now we get freedom of information. So, una know what in the law they mean? Or not build it before them pass them? I shall say 99% of una know. So I think say now about 2009, when former President Ernest Bai Koroma been in power, then the majority in the Parliament was APC. Then them pass what you the fed for, then pass them as the access to information law. What in that law they mean? It means say NRA or NACIT or SLRSA by power according to law, then foretell we all what's in the depend. Almost contract they don't give, order they don't hire, almost then they spend, almost money they don't collect, then foretell we every 3 months or every 6 months. Now 2009 then personal law though. It don't pass 10 years. Then do I? Look who una self na corner, look una self na church, look una self na office. Ask the okada rider whether they know what in NRA they pan, whether they know what in NACIT they pan. They're not the dwarf. Then because the people them, the law not there for teach the people them about this law, you need to go ask now, hey, Mr. President, tell me how much with money where you don't use for travel. Tell me who that you don't hire. We don't effect na law there. So the law them, wouldn't they talk rule of law over this Ernest Bai Koroma in bail and going to Nigeria? But that's not joke, bro. So we not get rule of law. We get the rule of the few, 1%. Not politics. Not the senior civil servants them. We don't have a democracy. We have an oligarchy. So Parliament needs to cleanse itself. We are hearing way this issue about parental, they make all kind of noise about them. I hope they will go investigate them thoroughly. Because if Parliament is corrupt, then we are all finished, man. I think it's about 2019 or so, or 2020, we then Honorable Hindolo give out talks say Parliament is corrupt. It ate his words again. He said, no, and I'm sorry why I talk that. But then with this parental business, where you don't come up, don't vindicate Honorable Hindolo give out. It don't show it. Not true in minute talk. Parliament corrupt. Maybe, I don't know whether the Freedom of Information Law, access to information law, give you power for go look inside Parliament. But there is other forms of corruption where I feel say Parliament engaging. Parliament supposed for do within with man called oversight. Now Parliament suppose for example, go na NASIT, say you NASIT, una can see all una accounting document. Now see all what in the auditor they don't talk. Then call the managing directors of NASIT. He grill them. You say you give contract for buy air conditioner. Who do you give the contract to? Who say you advertise them? No most them pay. Or you do that to Siratel. Any government agency, parliament get a party for summon them and grill them. And wait and see corruption, them holla. And then for take one of the agencies that way for take the matter, or arms of government, for take the matter to the Anti-Corruption Commission. That not then work, what they call oversight. Then for the look within the executive they do and try for check corruption rising. For not only that, for ensure that there's management, wise management of the resources. Corruption, maybe we need to extend the law for include mismanagement of resources. For example, if president they travel up and down, they hire plane, they go with 20 people them, go sit down at a luxury hotel, you're not going to call that corruption. But maybe if we make the law, we say, Mr. President, you can spend $5 million on traveling for what? That is mismanagement of our resources. Parliament then supposed to ensure there is wise management of our resources. Again, don't take my word for it. Ask yourself. Look around you, go to your neighbor and ask your neighbor, who's still a member? Parliament called some head of a government agency, or even a private agency with a touch on the lives of the people, like Orange, like Africell, like QCell. But don't increase money what people then for pay for buy data. What you do? Una tell we almost una they make. Una tell we almost una they use for manage una company. Una no can make with people and suffer. You tell me when you member say any parliament under the APC government or APC majority in parliament or SAPP majority in parliament, don't call any head of MDA, don't call a major governmental private sector agency like the petroleum agency, like those importing rice, and grill them in the interest of the people. Maybe they don't do them, they don't do them once or twice, but then there's a monumental feeling that they don't publicize what they're doing on radio and TV and on social media. But I'm hardly aware when they do that. So what it means is that successive parliaments, they've implicitly not fought for the people. They have not fought for the people. They've implicitly condoned corruption. So Nehemiah talk say, different arms of government, they wage war on the people then. Let's look about providing leadership. All things na salon na for go, whether they go na state house and become president. Would they forget about the parliamentarians then? In other countries, especially in the United Kingdom, who they colonize we, almost every week, every 2 weeks, parliamentarians they go na the constituency, house to house. Then they go ask people then, now what's in your problem? Maybe a few parliamentarians, then they help build boreholes, then they help build schools. But as far as I know, Most of them are not providing leadership to address specific issues, developmental problems, not them constituency them. From where would they hear about this coups? Now, how many times we don't hear parliamentarians them now, especially in Freetown, where the coups problem was? Don't say, I go to my parliamentary area and I have to go solve this problem. How many times we don't hear parliamentarians and don't provide leadership for make sure say them picking and get place for play? Or unana no say where you keep picking them. 1 year, 2 years, to 16 years of age. They not get place for play, not suffer you, they suffer them. No side not there, picking they not get football field, they not get volleyball field, they not get place for run. Which parliamentarian they would don't go address that issue? Most of we school them, they not get library. If the library then they're empty. And worse, maybe apart from the private schools then, where I feel, most of the public schools, they not get laboratory at all. Me and the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, we don't go almost half of the district in this country. We move from place to place, we listen to people then. Then they complain about them problem they wouldn't get. Teacher, they not get paid. Then the Anti-Corruption Commissioner Ben Kalafala say, okay, I'll pass you problem to the right authorities. What in column corruption risk. If teacher dey na kenema, 6 months they come, you not the pay. Then in get for collect money from them picking them. Then the inclination they get for survive, and get for live. So you make a corruption risk. You almost force them for the corrupt because you get for feeding picking them. These are issues that should be addressed by the parliamentarians, but they don't do it. The APC, the fight, the president bad, BO this. When outside the APC don't win parliamentary seats then? Na Bambali, na Tonkolili. Na Potloko. They don't try to solve the people them problem. Una know what thing they happen to the upline? The ground don't dry. That's another thing we'll get for talk. Then they help the people them for nourish the soil. All man they come out upline, they can't free talk. Because the parliamentarians are not providing leadership. They are not working on making the laws implicitly. In time like say, then they wage war upon the people then. Una don't elect the parliamentarians then, we forfeit for una. For the people, but rather implicitly then they fight against una. They don't join the judiciary for fight against una. Me na Oswald Hanciles. Get to me at 079545715.